Alright everybody, welcome to part 3 of the single turbo swap. We are going to take off the valve covers today and we are going to spray them Wrinkle black. Might put the new turbo manifold on because my new turbo manifold gasket came in. So yeah, I'm going to be doing that stuff today. Got the heat gun out, got the paint, went and bought some masking painter's tape. So yeah, we are going to take those off, clean them up, tape them off, and spray those. So stay tuned. Alright, so removing these things should be pretty easy. Just a bolt there, there, and then some on the inside. And remove this hose, and this hose, and then they should just come off. So gonna go ahead and do that, and you guys will see when we pull them off. Okay, so we ran into our first problem. Notice on that stud right there, there's still a little like crush washer type deal. See, these bolts come with a little washer type deal, sealer thing already on them. Well, this stud came off without it. And so it's flush against that, and I'm not entirely sure how I'm going to be able to remove it. So, going to try and get it off with those needle nose pliers. Going to try and spin it off. So we'll see. Alright, so got everything off. It should just come off. It looks like it's hitting the coil packs. So I guess I'm going to have to take them out now. Okay, so I got one of them off. Let's take a look in here. Everything in here looks to be about fine. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and take the other one off. Alright guys, we ended up getting both of them off. Everything looks fine inside the motor, I guess. So going to mask this off so that nothing gets in there, and then we are going to clean up and paint the valve covers, so stay tuned. Alright, masked off the cams using some of these brake masks that I got in my plastic dip kit for my wheels. I'm not going to use them because I'm just going to dip the wheels off the car, so I figured it would be perfect to use to tape off and keep those cams concealed in there. So here's what we're working with today. Got the VHT Wrinkle Plus. It's heat rated, and it looks like I've seen pictures of people that have done these on valve covers and stuff, and they look pretty good. And then this is not actually the degreaser brand. This is just a spare bottle. I had to put it in, but I bought a big 5-gallon bucket of Purple Power degreaser. Purple Power is the best degreaser you can get. That shit will clean just about anything as well as it's going to get cleaned. So anyway, we're going to take this to the valve covers and clean those up, and then we're going to get ready to spray them. Alright, I've got the degreaser soaking on them. Going to let that sit for a couple of minutes and talk about this right here. So apparently we have to lay this stuff very heavy, and let it sit for a couple minutes between each coat and do about 3 or 4 coats or so, and then I'm going to hit these things with the heat gun, because the heat is what really makes it cure and get that wrinkle finish, is what I was reading about this stuff. So I got the heat gun. I'm gonna let this stuff get where it's, I'm probably gonna give it 5 to 10 minutes between each coat, and then after that last coat I'll probably give it about 20 minutes or so, and make sure it's completely dry to touch, and then I'm gonna really hit this thing with the heat gun. So anyway, I got this sitting over here in the sunlight to help cure this stuff a little bit faster. So anyway, it's going to go ahead and wipe this stuff down now, and you guys will see it once we get it as clean as we can get it. Alright, so we got everything taped off. All the little holes are taped. I'm not too worried about the way this part right here is going to look, because you're only ever going to see it with the cover off. I'm just worried about this side right here and the other side, and overall the color. I think it's going to come out good. We'll see. If it looks like crap, you know, you can always send them off to the powder coater. So I just figured for a can of like $8 paint, and for work that I can mostly do myself, like taking this stuff off and everything like that, you know, I figured why not try it and see what it looks like. Anyways, yeah, we're gonna go ahead and start laying it on. So stay tuned, guys. Okay, so I got the first coat on there. You're supposed to go really heavy with this stuff. The first coat is supposed to be vertical, second coat horizontal, and the third coat at a cross pattern to get the best wrinkle finish on it. But anyway, going to allow 5 minutes, I think it said, for paint to dry, or each coat to dry, and then 2 hours to air dry after that, and then you can cure it. So yeah. Alright guys, you ready? Ready to see what they look like? I think they look phenomenal. That looks sweet. It's gonna wrinkle more when I get the heat gun to it, but I can't put the heat gun on it right now because when they cure, like as they cure, the wrinkles expand, so it looks more like that powder coated finish. But dude, they look sweet. I went ahead and took the tape off for the on the holes I masked, but I'm extremely happy with how these came out. I almost like don't really want to put them on the car because like I don't want to dirty them up. I think they look great. I think it's gonna look really good whenever I get the plug cover on there with some cool contrasting color. So this is essentially what they look like as they air dry. In about an hour and a half, hour and a half or so, I'm gonna come back out here and take the heat gun to them, cure them up, different stages of heat across them, and man, I think it looks great. I'm excited. I really enjoy the way they came out. I'm gonna let them dry up some more, and then I'm gonna finish taking the tape off the PCV and the little hosing, like the metal piping, and over the oil plug. But like, man, those look really, really good. Another thing about this paint too that I've noticed is it's significantly harder than most paint. So like it looks like it's gonna run, but it doesn't, because you're supposed to spray it on really heavy. And like, I figured it'd be a problem leaving it out here. You know, you can see the flies flying around it, or at least I don't know if you can on the camera, but I can. And it looks great right here. It doesn't look like, you know, flies are a problem at all. But anyway guys, I'll show you guys when I cure them. Alright everybody, it has wrinkled up some more. I'm really digging it. This one came out really good. The texture is really nice. I'm really digging the way it looks. I think that with a cool copper color, which is my idea right now for the valve, or for the plug cover, I think that it's going to make it look really good if I can get the intake painted a color. I'm thinking that I'm just going to go ahead and do the intake the same wrinkle black color. I think that's what I want to do, but I'm not entirely sure. It's going to be a whole lot of taping off to get the intake done. So who knows? May take it to my painter buddy and see if he wants to do it. Because I'm not really confident in my ability to paint that. But regardless, going to do something to it, because I don't really like the way it looks right now. It looks old and faded out. So, because it is. So anyways, yeah, I got a little bit of stuff on my face, but I think that's gonna do it for today. We're gonna come back tomorrow and see how all this stuff looks and get it torqued back down to the motor, have it sealed off and everything like that, and go from there. So stick around for the rest of the video, guys, and yeah, see you tomorrow. Okay everybody, welcome back to part 3 of the single turbo swap. It is a particularly windy and cold day here. It is Saturday. Look at that wind, man. It's cutting up over here, and it is really chilly. Actually, the temperature has dropped probably a solid 15-20 degrees than it was the day before last, and yesterday it was kind of cold too. But anyway, cooler weather is now on us. But I set the manifold, or the valve covers on here. Gonna go ahead and bolt them down. It's been a couple days now. I think that we're good to go ahead and bolt them in. The paint recommends 48 hours. It's been over 48 hours, so we are going to go ahead and bolt them in and decide on what our next step is from there. So stay tuned, guys. Alright fellas, we got the valve covers back on, bolted in, hoses hooked up, coil packs plugged in, everything is back on, and I think it looks amazing. It looks a ton better than it did. Now, let's see, what left is there to do before the actual motor goes back in the car? Got to clean up the engine bay a little bit. We have some gasoline residue over there, and I'm just gonna wipe down all this stuff right here just to clean it up before it goes back in, but not gonna have a whole episode just about that. So I think next episode is either going to be putting the turbo manifold on and removing the old oil lines and replacing it with the single turbo lines and draining the oil and cleaning the engine bay. That's either gonna be next episode, or cleaning the engine bay and removing the intake to paint. I think I want to paint the intake, or I know I want to paint the intake. I'm just debating on what color to paint it and how I'm going to go about doing it, because it's going to be a pain in the ass, because obviously there is a ton of stuff on the intake manifold to take off and tape off, and the weather here isn't necessarily good for it. So yeah, going to go ahead and do that eventually sometime. I'm just not entirely sure when we're going to do it. But anyway, intake manifold needs to be painted, engine bay needs to be cleaned, and then just give you a close-up of this over here. These are the factory oil lines for the turbos. We need to undo this one because that is the rear turbo feed. I have a block-off bolt for that. Need to do that. Need to hook up the oil line there, and gonna have to unhook this, which runs from here to here to here to here, and this whole thing is going to be removed entirely. And I have a plate with a feed right there. That's where I believe that's going to be the turbo oil drain. Yeah, I'm going to do all that. I'd like to heat wrap this with something. That's the coolant tube to the water pipe, or to the water pump. That's going to be right there underneath that turbo manifold and underneath the turbo, so it's going to be hot. So I'd like to find some sort of heat wrap or something like that for that. Keep that as cool as possible. And yeah, going to drain the oil, fill it up with some Royal Purple when we get this back in the car. Fill the radiator up with some Toyota coolant and some water wetter. That stuff works. And other than that, I believe we'll be good to go. So yeah guys, that's gonna do it for this video. That's gonna be part 3 in the books. We got part 4 coming up, probably a part 5, and then we're gonna, after we get the motor in the car, everything that I want to do here ready and done, then we are going to load the car up and take it to my good friend Scotty. He is going to help us out with the intercooler piping for the single turbo, and hopefully cutting up and making us a downpipe as well. So yeah, if you're stopping in the channel for the first time, subscribe for more. We got plenty of content coming on the way, guys. Like I said, for anybody that's new here, or just to repeat what I'm saying, this is going to be my goal, my build for the 10-second pass. This is going to be the start. That's my goal for the cars. I want to run a 10-second pass. So this is going to be one of the foundations we're laying to do that. So we're going right now on the stock injectors. Hopefully can make up to about 450, 460 wheel with the stock injectors. But I'm going to shoot for about 400 wheel streetable and turn it up to 450 or so, and see what I can make, what kind of pass I can make then. And then eventually drag tires and wheels, torque converter for the transmission, or stall converter for the transmission, and then we'll revisit the transmission after I run the 10-second pass and see what we go there. I know everybody wants me to do a manual, but the automatic is going to take us to the 10-second pass quicker and easier than the standard would. So anyways guys, that's going to do it for this episode. Subscribe for more videos, drop us a like, give us some thumbs up, comment what you guys think about the build so far, and stick around guys, and have a nice day. Peace.